Good morning. Coming to you today with some breaking news about what not my President Trump spent the weekend doing. And he wasn't working for you, the Trump supporters. He wasn't working on healthcare. He wasn't working on the economy. He wasn't working on national security or foreign policy. He was tweeting. And he was tweeting he tweeted out accusing our former president, who was my president, Barack Obama, of a felony, of tapping his wires, actually tapping his phone. That's what wiretapping actually is. And maybe the Donald should learn the right semantics. So he's accusing the Obama administration of wiretapping Trump Tower during the election. Now, everybody, and I mean everybody, Republicans, Democrats, everybody says this is absolutely not true. It's not true. Just like the fact that Obama was born in Africa, it wasn't true. And yet Trump, when he says it, he gets people to believe him. And I don't understand why. Look, Trump, this birther thing that Trump did when he was Citizen Trump, when he was a reality TV star, that a citizen could force the President of the United States to show his birth certificate, but the people of the United States cannot get Donald Trump to release his tax returns, which every political candidate has done for decades. Obama releases the damn birth certificate, and Trump says, well, it's a fake. And people believe Trump. And now people are believing Trump about these wiretaps. And look, let me tell you this, first of all. And I'm not playing with ifs, okay? I don't believe there were any damn wiretaps. But if there was a wiretap, guess what? Then there was a reason for the wiretap, and there was a warrant, and the FBI put the wiretaps in place. Obama did not sneak into Trump Tower, which would have been pretty hard to do, and plant wiretaps to help out his good pal Hillary. Okay? That did not happen. But the FBI, however, if they had a warrant because they suspected that Trump was doing something illegal, which he probably was, but again, there is no evidence that these wiretaps exist. And as much as Trump tweets, there's one thing he can't seem to do, and that's called cell phone selfie pictures. Take pictures of these so-called wiretaps you found after you found them. Look, Trump is a millionaire, a billionaire. He can afford to have his hotel and his apartment swept every other day for wiretaps. So if this happened during the campaign, would something not have been released to use against Hillary? And why is he doing this now? Again, I have a really bad feeling that not my president, but the person that some of you voted for, has lost his mind. He doesn't understand that he won. He is no longer candidate. He is in title the president for now. I think we need to all also wrap our heads around the fact that in a very short time, we actually might have a President Mike Pence. Not my choice either, but you know what? We cannot keep allowing Donald Trump to embarrass our country and make a jackass out of himself and the office. You know, people said that Bill Clinton sullied the office because he got a blowjob from Monica Lewinsky while president. Trump is sullying the office more because he is embarrassing our country all over the world. And people all over the world, our allies and our enemies alike, are starting to question his sanity. This is a man who, because of his rantings about Arnold Schwarzenegger said, you know what? Fuck this, I quit. I'm not doing Celebrity Apprentice anymore. Because the entire season, Donald Trump, when he should have been being not my president, was busy tweeting how terrible Arnold Schwarzenegger was and how the ratings were low. when he should have been worrying about what he promised you, his supporters. I'm talking to Trump supporters. He promised you health care reform. He promised you economic reform. He promised you jobs. Hell, he promised you a wall. And all he has done is bitch and moan that the people in his inner circle who have been admitted lying to the American people. Jeff Sessions lied. Mikey Flynn lied and resigned. And Trump is busy defending them. Flynn is gone and he's still saying, oh, he was a great guy. The media, the evil media, against the people media treated him unfairly. Well, I love Mike Flynn. A liar. He lied to the Vice President of the United States, for goodness sake, and Trump defends him. They say that on Friday, Trump was angry. He left the White House, got on his plane, and flew to his weekend place in Florida, in Palm Beach, Mar-a-Lago, where he spends every weekend, by the way, after spending all his time when he was criticizing President Obama for taking a trip to Camp David. Every weekend, Donald Trump gets on a plane and goes to Florida because I guess Melania also gets on a plane every weekend and goes to Florida because she's not a real fan of Washington. She's been kind of New York, Florida. She doesn't like Washington much, that Melania. Wonder why. But when he goes to Florida and when Melania travels from New York to Florida, guess how much money this is costing the taxpayers? You. Trump supporters. He said he was going to work for you. Guess what? You have to pay for security for Melania to go from New York to Florida and for Trump to go from Washington to Florida. But when the Obamas traveled, they traveled as a family on one plane with one security detail team. When he gets to Florida, he causes chaos. The town that he is in, Palm Beach, they have to close the airport, which means that people who live and pay taxes there cannot fly in if Trump is en casa, if he's there. The airports are going crazy trying to accommodate his security in Mar-a-Lago. And he goes every weekend. After promising you, his supporters, he was going to be a Washington president. He was going to be in Washington all the time. What he should have actually said was, I'm going to be a Twitter president, because that's where he spends 99% of his time, on Twitter. Not working for you, not getting you the health care that you wanted, that I wanted. And please, do not be fooled. Okay? I am a liberal. I'm a Democrat, and you all know that. And so whenever I talk about this, I get the thumbs going and the hate mail and the Twitters that you aren't giving him a chance. Guess what, dudes? Our European allies are done. Our enemies are like, ooh, this is going to be fun. Let's see how long these stupid Americans keep this buffoon in the White House, because we're going to have some fun with this. And they already are. Russia is testing the waters. North Korea is testing the waters. Iran is testing the waters. Because all the president talks about is Twitter and his enemy media and people wiretapping him. And he's not talking about what he's actually supposed to be doing, which is being the president. He's acting like a spoiled, rotten brat child. It's like when Obama gave the birth certificate and Trump said, well, that's fake. It's kind of like when a child says, oh, I really want an iPhone 7 for my birthday, and you give them an iPhone 6, and they're like, no, I wanted the 7. Or that's not a real iPhone. It's a spoiled brat mentality that this White House has. And that anybody who criticizes them, including all, by the way, all except maybe Fox News, of the media, who its job is to say, we want to get to the truth, we're all liars. The media is all liars. If I were just a little more famous, I bet Trump would start tweeting about me. Who's this Paula Luciano, this political Paula bitch. Who is she? She's a frizzy-haired, glorified, gay-loving, pro-choice idiot housewife in Pennsylvania. Who the fuck is she? She's a nobody. Yeah, yes, not my President Trump. I'm a nobody. But I have a big mouth. And unlike you, when I say something live, when I say something on a tweet or on Facebook, I say it with the intention and the belief that it is actually true. I don't sit around and post lies, and I don't criticize and tweet about people who disagree with me. I don't do that. When people disagree with me, I respect them for their opinions, their First Amendment right to disagree. And then I check their facts, and if their facts are accurate, I say, oh, I made a mistake. I was wrong. Something I have never heard not my President Trump say. Okay, I would love for you to tweet me, not my president. Because I think if you keep going the way you're going, I give it another maybe month or two, or after the first terrorist attack, because of the way this not my president is running the administration, I give it another month, or till the first terror attack on American soil, which is probably in the works right now, because they're seeing the chaos our country is in because of this buffoon who sits in the White House 4 days a week and then takes off for Florida for the weekend to go golfing. So one more month for a terrorist attack, and not my President Trump is going to turn into not my President Pence. Because I didn't vote for Pence either, and Pence is scary. He's a true conservative. He's a true religious fanatic. He is against everything that supports women's rights, especially over our reproductive organs. So he's more dangerous in a way than Trump for social issues. But at least we may not have a nuclear bomb falling on America from North Korea or Iran or Russia if we have a not my President Pence instead of a not my President Trump. The Twitter addict. And one thing you Trump supporters need to understand is I am not attacking not my President Trump on any of the issues, because he hasn't done anything on the issues. And that's the problem. And if you're not worried about that, if you still support him and you're not worried about it, you're not listening, or you are so blinded by this tunnel vision, and you don't understand that he is not acting like a president, he's still acting like a reality television star who only cares about ratings and popularity. And that, my friends, is a problem. It's a problem. And it is going to hit you where you live very soon. It is. Because you're not going to get your health care. You are not going to get your wall if you want the wall. You're not going to get your jobs. And you're not going to get your safety. Because right now, America is in more danger than it ever has been before from foreign enemies. And this is because we have great people in the CIA and the FBI and the National Security Administration. But not my President Trump is at war with them too. He tweets about them. And Jeff Sessions is not the right candidate, the right person to be the top cop, because he's a liar, he is a rabid racist, and he is so loyal to Donald Trump that he will never be able to objectively investigate or come to the truth and conclusions of what really is going on if it involves something detrimental to Donald Trump. He's Donald Trump's boy, Donald Trump's bitch. And he's the top cop in our country. And it's a problem. It's a problem that our Secretary of State doesn't get to speak to the president, to the not my president, on a regular basis. Whereas Hillary Clinton, as Secretary of State, had a standing lunch date weekly with President Obama to discuss foreign affairs. Basically, they're dressing Tillerson up, sending him out there to toe the party line, but they don't tell him anything. Donald Trump's son-in-law knows more about foreign policy in our country and in the world than our Secretary of State. Trump supporters, please beware. Please beware. I am begging you. Because right now, we are at the tip of the iceberg here. And we can't go any higher. And now we're going to have to go down the other side. And he's going to fall. We cannot have 4 years of this. We can't. Because we will no longer recognize our country. You said you wanted change, yes. And I believe you did. You wanted good change. But I don't believe that you want Russian subtitles on every presidential speech you hear, or Russian subtitles on your television screens. And I don't believe you want our new national anthem to sound a lot like the Russian national anthem, the Soviet Union national anthem. Yeah. No. I don't think we want Putin on our money. Putin's face on our money. We want to be very cautious here. And we also still have the power to demand Donald Trump's tax returns, to find out where his business interest lies, who he owes money to. Because you don't understand. People who said we don't need his tax returns, we do need his tax returns. Tax returns show you if your president is susceptible to blackmail. If he or she owes money to someone who to maybe, oh, well, we'll forgive the debt if you do this for us. And if Donald Trump owes money to anybody in a foreign country, that is a problem. And it's illegal. Because he is susceptible to blackmail. Do this for my country, I'll forgive your debt. It's important, guys. It's very important. It's not that we're being nosy. He's not really a billionaire. Who the hell cares? I don't give a shit. We want to know who he owes, where he has assets, and if that could be a conflict of interest on doing his job, which is for us, to work for us, not to bash Arnold Schwarzenegger, not to falsely accuse President Obama of being born in Africa or wiretapping Trump Tower. And not to spend tax dollar money because his wife and his kid don't feel like moving to Washington, like every other first lady and first children did after the inauguration. But Barron Trump is different. He gets to stay in his school in New York, and now security has to be in New York with Melania and in Washington with Trump, with Donald. It's costing us double, triple in security for this family because they refuse to live together. And that should tell you something too, all you conservatives who want a lovely, married, happy family, Christian family in the White House. Ever remember a president whose wife spent the week somewhere else? A weekender wife? A weekender first lady? That has never happened before that I'm aware of. Something to think about. All you conservatives who wanted a Republican, a good conservative family Christian dude. What does Melania do with herself all week in New York? She's not being first lady. She hasn't made a speech. She hasn't done anything for charity. Nothing that I can see in public. Sits in her little golden tower. Maybe we should ask the FBI. Maybe they have it on tape. Political Paula out.